Why are these people so sad? It seems they don't have a good harvest, and their cattle is dying. Do you remember the previous story? When the people in Israel started worshipping false gods, God has sent Elijah with a message to King Ahab. He said, "There will be no rain or dew until I say so." And that's why there is such a disaster in the country. King Ahab is searching everywhere to find Elijah, but he can't find him. Elijah is hiding at the brook Kerith. There God has been taking care of him. He could drink water from the brook. And do you remember the ravens who were bringing food to him? But now the brook has dried up. God tells Elijah to travel to another place, Zarephath. God says, "You will find a widow there, and I will make her to take care of you." Do you see God's love for Elijah? Do you also see God's love for you in your life? Elijah obeys the words of the Lord and starts his trip. When Elijah comes to the town gate, he sees a widow gathering firewood. He calls to her and asks, "Would you bring me some water in a jar to drink?" As she is going to get it, he calls, "And please bring me a piece of bread." "I don't have any bread," she replies. "Only a handful of flour in a jar and a little olive oil in a jug. I'm gathering a few sticks to take home and make a meal for myself and my son. This will be our last meal. We will surely die." Yes, that will happen when there is not enough food in the country. Elijah says, "Don't be afraid. Go home and do as you have said, but first make a small loaf of bread for me from what you have and bring it to me. And then make something for yourself and your son. For this is what the Lord, the God of Israel, says: the jar of flour will not be used up, and the jug of oil will not run dry until the day the Lord sends rain on the land." Will the widow do this? Will she believe these words? Yes, she does. She puts the flour in a bowl and adds the oil. She makes a small loaf of bread for Elijah. And then, look, the jar of flour is not used up, and the jug of oil is not running dry. What a miracle! She can make a meal for herself and her son as well. Do you see the power of the Lord? He always does what he promises. The house of the widow has an upper room. There Elijah can stay. And every day the widow is preparing meals for him, her son, and herself. Yes, the Lord is taking care of them. But on a certain day the son of the widow becomes ill. It is getting worse and worse. And finally the boy stops breathing. His mom is so sad. She thinks it's a punishment for her sins. She says to Elijah, "What do you have against me, man of God? Did you come to remind me of my sin and kill my son?" Yes, for sure. Death came into this world because of our sins. But Elijah doesn't explain anything or starts defending himself. He just says, "Give me your son." He takes him from her arms, carries him to the upper room where he is staying, and lays him on his bed. Then he cries out to the Lord, "Lord my God, have you brought tragedy even on this widow I am staying with by causing her son to die?" That's the best what you can do when you don't understand something. Pray. Ask the Lord. Then he stretches himself out on the boy 3 times, crying out to the Lord, "Lord my God, let this boy's life return to him." The Lord hears Elijah's cry. He makes the boy alive again. What a miracle! The Lord has even power over death. Maybe you are scared when you think about dying, or you are sad because someone who you know has died. Let it comfort you that we read in the Bible that there comes a day that the Lord will make everyone alive again. That's the day when Jesus will return back to earth. Are you prepared for that day? Do you love Jesus already? Because he will take care of everyone who loves him, even when you die, because everyone who loves Jesus will be with him forever. Elijah picks up the boy and carries him down from his room into the house. He gives the boy to his mother and says, "Look, your son is alive." His mom is so happy. She says, "Now I know you are a man of God. You speak the words of the Lord. These words are always the truth." Yes, that is why God does miracles, so that we will know Him and glorify Him.